Construction is expected to start soon on a wind farm stretching across thousands of acres in Osage County. It is something the Osage Indian Nation has been fighting, and now the Nature Conservancy is voicing its concerns over the effects the wind turbines may have on wildlife and the environment. Supporters of the wind farms say the renewable energy source is a good thing for the state and those living in rural Osage County.
Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plain and the waving wheat.
Wind sweeping down the plains of Osage County may have new meaning in the coming year. That's because a Missouri company has acquired leases from landowners to construct 94 wind turbines across 8,000 acres. The landscape will dramatically change once they are erected. The 116-foot blades will sit atop towers which reach more than 200 feet into the air. Landowner Joe Bush is looking forward to them being built on his land.
I like the way they look. I think they're majestic and beautiful.
Bush says for each turbine he will receive payments of $8,000 a year, and that could end up to be a hefty annual payout if dozens of turbines end up dotting his property.
I'm hoping that I would get 30 or so, 40 maybe.
Residents living in nearby Shidler and those who send their children to Shidler schools are also welcoming the wind turbines.
For the town, it could mean jobs, it could mean, and those mean residents moving into our town. For the school, it basically will cement the school's future for the next 25 years.
School Superintendent John Herzig says the district will enjoy huge monetary benefits from the project.
It takes us off of state aid so that we're not at the mercy of the state's budget every year. It'll generate enough ad valorem taxes for us to build a new school. Our school was built in 1929. It'll benefit all of our kids. That's the whole thing. It's going to take care of the kids of Shidler and the surrounding area.
Others in Osage County oppose a change to the landscape. At issue is the environment, which includes the collateral damage of bald eagles. Nests spanning 5 feet can be found high atop large trees in the county. Eagles are a native species in the area where Osage Indians have lived for centuries. Attorney Ian Shavitz represents the Osage Nation.
Here, the situation that we have is we have a tribe who essentially, as a project is going in their backyard, that's going to kill their most sacred species, for cultural and religious significance. They're against it, yet this project is going to go forward.
The turbine company is awaiting approval from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service for what is called an Eagle Take permit. Such permits have been given to other wind farm projects across the nation. It allows for no more than 3 eagles to be killed by the propellers of the turbines each year. Preserving the eagle's habitat has long been a mission of the Osage Nation because the birds are part of their religious and ceremonial lives.
Most all of us carry either a tail feather, a tail fan or a wing fan, and all of us, every one of us, have one tail feather in our headdress, and that's how you distinguish Osage from everyone else.
Assistant Chief Scott Bighorse says eagle feathers are used during religious blessings when an Osage child is born. He says after an Osage dies, an eagle feather is buried with them. The tribe also considers much of the land in Osage County to be hallowed ground. It is where the remains of many of their ancestors lie.
Typically, our people would find a high spot, and when I say a high spot, it would be like an area on one of these hilltops, and we would take care of our loved ones on those hilltops, and always try and give them something to look at.
Protecting wildlife and preserving the land is also a concern of the Oklahoma chapter of the Nature Conservancy. Mike Furr is the state director.
And so anytime you do large-scale industrial development, you're cutting that prairie up into smaller pieces. And so that leads to problems with the functioning of the prairie ecologically.
The Tall Grass Prairie Preserve was established in Osage County by the Conservancy 20 years ago. There you find buffalo roaming freely and many species of birds, including eagles, thriving on the pristine grassland. Furr says the wind turbines are not appropriate for the area.
We are in favor of renewable energy, and wind is a really important part of that. And so what we've been doing over the past 7 or 8 years is working with the wind industry to say, if you're going to do this, do it the right way. And that means just siting it in appropriate places.
Furr believes turbines should be built on top of land that has already been converted to wheat fields or other row crops. In the county seat of Pawhuska, other opinions are hard to come by. Out of respect for the opinions of tribal leaders and the Nature Conservancy, many in Pawhuska do not want to comment publicly. Privately, there is support for the wind turbine project and the landowners who want it.
They don't own it. It's private property. If I wanted to build an exact replica of Manhattan Island, it's my property.
Construction of the turbines is expected to begin in the next month or two, while the Osage Nation continues to explore legal avenues to stop it.